Platonic on Apple TV Plus follows the heartwarming tale of friendship between Will and Sylvia, who reunite after being distant from each other for a long time. The show delves into themes of loyalty, relationships, and male-female friendship. The previous episode ended with a tense situation between Will and Sylvia when she asks him to vacate the ADU and also takes rent from him. She feels overwhelmed by Will's constant presence in her life, which leads to Will moving out after an extended stay. The party planner gets a more permanent job offer from Cabo Carey, which complicates her emotional dynamics with Charlie, who still shows an obsession with the Brett Coyote novel. Due to the circumstances, Sylvia accepts the job offer, which makes her the primary breadwinner of the family. Meanwhile, Will faces a tough situation as the Lucky Penny is shut down due to an FBI raid after Reggie gets involved in an illegal poker game. After this, he temporarily moves in with Katie. This sets things up for Brett Coyote's Last Stand, the finale of the second season. Spoilers ahead. Season 2 finale plot recap. Sylvia organizes a party as part of her new job with Cabo Carey, which causes her to reach home late after taking a flight. She puts her kids to bed but sees that her place in the bed has been occupied by Watson the dog, so she ends up sleeping on the couch. Will, who now stays temporarily with Katie, helps her move heavy stuff within the house. Charlie continues to write his Coyote novel, but keeps getting distracted due to his sexual thoughts. He keeps writing, but it leads him to pleasuring himself. The aspiring writer realizes that writing is not as easy as he assumed it would be. He has a chat with his former boss, Stuart, who tells him Charlie quit the firm weirdly. Katie and Sylvia meet near the school and have a conversation about Will. Katie says that Will has been staying with her for weeks and that she is finding it impossible to get rid of him. The party planner finds out that Will hasn't made much progress in life after their fight. Later, Katie and Will hook up, which makes things uncomfortable between them, and the beer enthusiast moves out and goes to stay with Reggie. He has an argument with Omar and Reggie about a natural drink called Celsius after the latter asks him to buy it for him. Will finds out that people don't really want him to stay with them. Katie invites Sylvia to the podcast, where she asks her about being the family's breadwinner. Will comes to Sylvia's place to take away his beer equipment and asks her to taste the Celsius drink. Both of them admit that the drink is really refreshing and clinically proven to function. Sylvia helps him move the beer equipment, during which the beer container opens up and sends her flying. Later, the two friends have a serious argument about why Will encouraged Charlie to quit his job, but the beer enthusiast doesn't take responsibility for it. Tempers flare between the two friends, who reach a breaking point. Will and Sylvia angrily decide to halt their friendship for the time being, and the man storms out. Charlie sells his Honda car and talks to Sylvia about quitting writing, but his wife encourages him not to do so and tells him that she likes his writing. Charlie is encouraged by the fact that his wife read the Brett Coyote book. The couple says an emotional goodbye to their Honda car and also goes on to have a moment of bonding. Sylvia hurries to catch a flight and happens to read an article from the LA Times, which reveals that Will is opening the shitty little bar. The beer enthusiast gets a deal on renting a new place and makes all the necessary preparations for launching the bar, including putting up signboards and moving in new equipment. Will Sylvia and Will become business partners? Why? Will and Sylvia reach a difficult point in their friendship due to the fact that Will encouraged Charlie to quit his job. This leads to a temporary break in the friendship between the two main characters. After not communicating with Sylvia for a few days, he goes to her house to pick up some mail left for him, as he was still using her address. He doesn't realize that Sylvia has already mistakenly taken a look at the letter he received. When he sees the letter, he goes into a state of shock. Will gets into trouble due to the fact that he signed a non-compete agreement with Jenna's company in the past before he broke up with her. He gets cornered just before he can actually start up his dream business of opening the shitty little bar. Will's non-compete agreement makes it difficult for him to move ahead with opening his new bar, as he will technically be violating it. This makes him break down in front of Sylvia's door. Despite initial reluctance, Sylvia goes out the door and tries to console her friend. He apologizes for breaking their friendship earlier, but she understands and empathizes with him. This prompts her to drive Will all the way to Jenna's company, where he intends to make peace with her. However, things take a hilarious turn when Will and Jenna end up having sex instead of reaching an agreement. After sex, she insists on his leaving. Sylvia is shocked to hear about Will's sexual encounter with his former fiancée, after which she asks him to come home for the reading and publication of Charlie's self-published Brett Coyote novel. At the reading, Will ends up having a conversation with Charlie and his former boss, Stuart, who suggests that non-compete agreements are very difficult to handle. However, a loophole in the non-compete agreement realm becomes a ray of hope for Will. The beer enthusiast, after talking to Charlie and Stuart, realizes that the bar can be set up if the name of the main owner is changed. He comes up with a brilliant plan wherein Sylvia can be the face of the bar and he can run things in the background. Frustrated with her cabo carry work, Sylvia suddenly takes an interest in Will's plan and agrees to work with him on the Dream Bar project. Despite the misunderstandings, the break in the friendship, and the cards stacked against them, the two main characters find a way to be close to each other again. All the negativity between the two of them vanishes due to the fact that Will genuinely wants Sylvia to be a part of his life and his new business dream. The two main characters have a friendly conversation after a long time and start to discuss the future of the bar. They are able to become friends again and will presumably continue to do so in the future. Will Charlie be a successful author? Charlie's interest in writing the Brett Coyote novel makes him do weird things like pleasuring himself and thinking about his character's actions in the novel. He takes it upon himself to finish the novel no matter the cost. When encouraged by Sylvia to continue writing, he gets the inspiration to finish the novel and make people read it, no matter the cost. He finally self-publishes the novel and invites people to the launch and reading of it at home. Despite the funny stuff and the absurd sentences in the novel, the people invited to the reading applaud Charlie's efforts. This makes him happy, and he begins to believe that he can actually be a successful author if he really wants to. Sylvia's encouragement also fuels him to do better. When a little girl asks him for his autograph on the novel, he beams with pride. He also reaches a point of self-realization when he understands that quitting his job was probably not the best thing for him to do. He requests his former boss, Stuart, to give him another chance to work at the firm. He also convinces his boss that he will manage his passion for writing whenever he has time. Whether or not Charlie rejoins the firm is not answered by the narrative, but it can be presumed that he will most likely do so. Charlie will presumably continue to write more and hopes to reach more readers as he becomes better at telling the story of Brett Coyote. In conclusion, it can be said that Charlie has a great chance of becoming a successful author if he is able to get over his own insecurities. Will Katie and Will get together? One of the most shocking revelations in the season finale of the second season is the fact that Will and Katie hooked up when the main character was staying with her temporarily. However, Katie hooks up with him to get him out of her house. Sylvia is shocked when she hears about her two friends hooking up. Due to the fact that the sex between Will and Katie was mostly casual, it can be presumed that the two of them will not pursue anything serious. Will has commitment issues, and so does Katie. The two of them happen to depend on each other at their moments of need and don't actually love each other or feel a sense of deeper connection. Despite enjoying each other's company and the banter, it is not likely that they will pursue anything other than a casual fling. Their equation with Sylvia will also be a problem, as it will lead to more complications in the friends' circle. There could be remote chances of Katie and Will pursuing something in the future if they happen to cross paths during desperate times again, but that looks unlikely to happen. Thus, the potential for a deeper relationship between the two seems unlikely. though it might lead to entertaining and funny situations. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.